Okay, so we're diving deep into this Europa League matchup, huh?
Yeah, we've had a good one.
A clash of styles.
Absolutely, some high stakes for sure.
We've got Viktoria Plzeň going up against Anderlecht.
Right.
So, of course, in the Czech League, looking to make a splash in the knockout stage.
Yeah, definitely.
And Anderlecht from Belgium, they've got this really interesting history against Czech teams,
Oh, yeah.
which we'll definitely dig into.
Yeah, for sure.
But first, just to kind of set the stage for our listeners, what
Right.
what exactly is on the line for these two teams?
Yeah, so for Plitz, this is a chance for them to really make a statement,
Right.
They're looking for their second appearance in the knockout stage in 6 seasons. So
Okay.
they've had some decent runs, but they haven't been able to consistently break through.
Right.
Anderlecht, on the other hand, they're hoping to secure their third automatic spot in the last 16 since 2010.
Wow.
So they've been there.
They know what it takes.
They know what it takes exactly, and you can bet they're going to use that experience to their advantage.
Yeah, I was reading, too, that Anderlecht have never actually lost to a Czech team in European competition.
That's right. Yeah, it's a pretty remarkable streak.
Yeah.
7 wins out of 7 encounters.
That's a lot of pressure for Clancy.
It is, but Plinson, they're at home for this one, and they haven't exactly been pushovers in the tournament so far.
That's true.
Let's talk a little bit about Plinz's situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're coming off a pretty long winter break. Haven't played a competitive match in over 5 weeks.
Oh, wow. So
Yeah.
that rust factor could definitely be a concern, right?
Oh, absolutely. That's a long time to be away from the pitch.
Right.
Got to get those legs back under them. Got to find that rhythm again.
That match fitness.
Exactly.
It's different than training.
Completely different, yeah.
But they did have a pretty impressive group stage.
They did. They only lost 1 match,
Okay.
and that was to Manchester United.
Which,
So-
it's not a bad loss.
Mhm.
No, not at all.
To be fair.
And they're currently sitting just 2 points out of that automatic last 16 qualification spot.
Exactly. So they're right in the thick of it.
Absolutely, yeah.
And they went into the break on a high note, too. Won their last match, 7-2.
Whoa. Okay.
So, they were definitely finding their groove.
7 goals. That's a statement.
Yeah, that'll boost your confidence for sure.
And actually, over their last 18 matches in all competitions, they've only lost twice.
That's right. They're a team in form, no doubt about it.
So it sounds like they're going to be coming into this one firing on all cylinders.
Oh, yeah, they're going to be ready.
But we've got to talk about that Anderlecht history, right?
We do. It's hard to ignore.
Never lost to a Czech team in European competition.
Never. It's a psychological edge that you just can't quantify.
Right. So even though Plzeň is looking really strong on paper,
Right.
Anderlecht has that mental advantage.
Yeah, they've been there. They've done that. And they know they can beat Czech teams.
Okay, so let's talk about Anderlecht now.
Yeah, absolutely.
What are we looking at with them?
Well, like you said, they've got this fantastic record against Czech opponents.
Right.
And they actually come into this match off a weekend win against Kortrijk.
Okay, so a little momentum boost.
Exactly. Got some good vibes going.
Right, but their form recently has been kind of up and down.
It has. Yeah, they've lost 3 of their last 6 games across all competitions.
Okay.
Not exactly the kind of consistency you want heading into a big European clash.
Right, yeah, and that kind of makes you wonder what we can expect from them.
Right. Are we going to see the Anderlecht that dominated their UEL group?
Right.
Or the one that's been struggling domestically?
Yeah, because they were undefeated in that UEL group stage, right?
They were 4 wins, 2 draws.
Okay.
Already secured at least a playoff spot, so
They're guaranteed to keep going.
Right, but are they going to try to push for that automatic last 16 spot?
Yeah, exactly. That's the question.
That's the big question, all right.
Yeah.
So we've talked about the momentum, the history.
But what about some of the more kind of tactical elements that could come into play here?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's dig into that.
Let's talk tactics.
Yeah.
So one thing that really jumped out at me when I was looking at Plzeň
Okay.
is their home strength in the UEL.
Oh, yeah, they're tough to beat at home.
They haven't conceded the first goal in their last 7 UEL home games.
That's right. A very disciplined team.
So what do you think? How does that affect their approach in this match?
Well, I think it gives them a certain level of comfort.
Look.
They're confident playing at home. They know they can keep a clean sheet.
Right.
So they might not feel the need to come out guns blazing.
Right. So a little more measured, maybe.
Exactly. Maybe sit back a little bit, absorb some pressure.
Let Anderlecht kind of come to them.
Right, and then hit them on the counter.
Okay, interesting. All right, now what about Anderlecht on the road? What do they look like?
Well, their goalkeeper, Coosemans, hasn't exactly been a brick wall on the road.
Oh, no.
He hasn't kept a clean sheet in his last 6 away games in the UEL.
That could be an issue.
It could be. And here's another interesting stat.
Okay.
5 of those 6 matches finished 2-1.
Whoa.
So there's definitely a pattern there.
So that's saying something about their away performances.
It is, are they comfortable conceding 1 goal?
Right.
Are they just not solid defensively on the road?
Right. Or are they just like, hey, we'll let 1 in, then we'll score 2?
Exactly. Maybe they're confident in their attack to outscore their opponents.
Interesting.
But that could be a risky strategy against a team like Plzeň.
Especially with that home crowd behind them.
Exactly. The atmosphere is going to be electric.
Okay, so let's switch gears for a second.
Okay.
And talk about a player who I think could really be a difference maker in this match.
All right. Who are we looking at?
Prince Adu.
Oh, yeah. Plzeň, man.
This guy is a scoring machine, especially in the first half.
He loves to get an early goal.
Most of his goals have come before halftime, often opening the scoring for Plzeň.
Right. He can really set the tone.
Exactly. Do you think he'll be the key to unlocking Anderlecht's defense?
Well, he's certainly a player they're going to have to watch very closely.
Right.
If Anderlecht can keep him quiet in those first 45 minutes,
right,
it'll go a long way towards frustrating Plzeň.
So Anderlecht's game plan gotta be keep Adu quiet.
At least for the first half. Yeah, limit his chances early.
All right. So to summarize, it sounds like Plzeň has that home advantage.
Right.
They've got the momentum coming off that win streak.
Yep.
And they've got a potent goal scorer in Adu.
Absolutely.
But we can't count out Anderlecht.
We can't.
Despite their recent inconsistency, they've looked really strong in the UEL.
Yeah, they've been a different team in Europe.
Undefeated in the group stage, they know how to win.
They do.
Plus, they've got that historical edge over Czech teams.
Right. That's something you can't just ignore.
So what do you think, ultimately, what's going to decide this match?
Well, I think it comes down to the tactics.
Okay.
Both managers have some tough decisions to make.
Right.
You know, how do you exploit your opponent's weaknesses while also protecting your own? Will Plzeň sit back and defend, or will they try to press high up the pitch?
Right. Will Anderlecht play conservatively, or will they take the game to Plzeň?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's going to be a fascinating tactical battle.
All right, so I think we've done a great job of kind of setting the stage here.
I think so.
We've talked about the history, the momentum,
The key players.
the key players, the tactics,
Stakes.
the stakes, everything.
Everything, yeah.
So for our listeners out there, think about everything we've discussed.
Right.
Think about the players, think about the tactics, think about what each team needs to do to win this match,
Absolutely.
and then watch the game with that in mind.
You'll have a whole new level of appreciation.
Exactly. You're not just watching the game, you're analyzing it.
Exactly.
And that's what the deep dive is all about.
Absolutely.
So enjoy the match, and we'll catch you next time for another deep dive.
Sounds good.